Oh, good evening, South Mississippi. This is Meteorologist Aaron Colby. We're going to be talking about the upcoming cold air as well as the alert day for Monday night through Wednesday. We are expecting a winter storm here in South Mississippi. I have all those details coming up in just a little bit. But first, let's take a look at those temperatures out there right now, 9 o'clock, and some areas already below freezing, especially if you're further inland. Lots of areas north of I-10 as of right now are now at or below freezing. That cold air continuing to rush its way in. It's been very windy all day today. That'll continue into tomorrow morning, which means that those wind chills in the morning are going to be extremely cold. Tonight is the first night of these well below freezing temperatures here in South Mississippi. Looking at tomorrow morning, here's what that looks like. We'll be waking up in about those mids to upper 20s across all of South Mississippi. The higher 20s are going to be possible much closer to the coast. Inland, you're looking there at the mid 20s, about 25, possibly a little bit lower if you can get this wind to chill out just a little bit. Now, because of how strong these winds are, how breezy it is going to be, especially as we go through tomorrow morning as well, those wind chill values or the feels like temperature, that's going to be extremely cold as well. Take a look at what that looks like here. On the futurecast, you can see there, wind chill forecast. Most of us in the teens across South Mississippi. This is early tomorrow morning. This may continue well into the morning hours, so we're going to be keeping a very close eye out for those wind speeds as well as those temperatures. It's going to be feeling extremely cold out there. I hope you guys finished up those cold weather preparations. Of course, most of us now going below freezing as of 9 o'clock. Looking at the next couple of mornings as well, that cold weather is going to continue for several nights. Tuesday, you can see one of the warmest of the nights, if you want to call it that. So up again in those upper 20s across most of South Mississippi. Inland could get a little bit colder, down into those mid to lower 20s. Another thing to notice is that we're going to be staying below freezing for a long period of time. Both Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mornings, we could be finding ourselves below freezing for up to 15 to 20 hours, possibly even more than that. So that's going to become another danger with this prolonged cold period. Wednesday looking like the coldest of the three mornings. Look at that, low 20s all the way to the coast, possibly air temperature in the teens for our inland areas. It's going to be extremely cold, especially on Wednesday. So definitely want to be keeping a very close eye out for that. Wednesday, some of these possibly even a little bit lower than forecasted. If we get enough of a snowpack on the ground during the day on Tuesday, it stays below freezing. It could keep us much colder than forecasted as we go into Wednesday morning. So that's also something to keep a very close eye out on. Of course, keep up to date with the forecast over the next about 24 to 48 hours. That's going to be possibly a lot of changes coming as we learn more about what this winter storm exactly looks like. Next, we're also going to be talking about the potential for that winter storm. Like we talked about, now most of South Mississippi under a winter storm warning. This has been issued for the Texas coast, most of Louisiana, and southeastern Mississippi as well. You can see the winter storm watch has also been extended all the way to the South Carolina coast, as there is now much more confidence in a winter storm happening across the Gulf Coast on Tuesday. Here in South Mississippi, we are right in the middle of that zone. Winter storm warning begins Monday night. This continues into Tuesday night as well. Most of that snowfall expected during the day on Tuesday. We're going to time that out here on Futurecast in just a minute. Now, another thing to look at here, mainly north of I-10, we could be seeing quite a bit of snowfall. 3 to 6 inches of snow expected with locally higher amounts possible. South of I-10, we could be looking at around 1 to 4 inches. We'll have a little bit more detail on that here in just a little bit, but one thing to keep in mind, we're going to be keeping out a very close eye out on the potential for banding as these snow showers move over the same areas. They can form small bands of snow, and those areas that get caught under those could see some locally higher amounts. So that's definitely another thing we're going to be keeping a very close eye on. during the day on Tuesday. Let's also take a look here. Did you know the last time a winter storm warning was issued here in coastal Mississippi? Well, that was the ice storm that occurred on January 28th in 2014. That is over 4,000 days ago. Now, of course, let's take a look at Futurecast now. Let's time this out and see what our different impacts are going to be. Of course, the biggest threat is going to be that extremely cold air. We're going to be well below freezing for up to 15 to 20 hours at a time, especially on Tuesday, possibly even more than that, waking up extremely cold on Wednesday. So definitely a lot of different things we want to be keeping an eye out for. The good news is that the threat for power outages continues to go down. That could become an issue if there's a lot of icing in the form of maybe sleet or freezing rain, but good news is that all of these models have continued to trend more into a complete snow event, not much of that icing. However, traveling concerns are growing. Of course, lots of snow on the ground Tuesday, with the potential for refreezes Wednesday and Thursday morning as well. We're going to be keeping a very close eye on that as well. Those road conditions could remain pretty dangerous all the way through Wednesday and Thursday morning. So that's another thing that we're going to have to keep a very close eye on. Here's Futurecast. Here's what this looks like as we time this out, as this system does move across the Gulf Coast fairly quickly. You're going to see here most of those snow showers off to our west by very late Monday night into early Tuesday. Snow showers arrive here in South Mississippi as early as 4 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. Then we get into the late morning hours on Tuesday by about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And that's when some of those heavier snow bands can start to move into South Mississippi. You can see a lot of the heaviest snow kind of focused just to our west, over on the west side of Lake Pontchartrain over in Louisiana. That does begin to shift towards us as you make your way throughout the day on Tuesday. This is 1 p.m. on Tuesday, and you can see here those darker blues starting to work their way into South Mississippi. Those are potentially where those snow bands that I was talking about could try and set up. We're going to be keeping a very close eye on that. That could have a huge impact on snowfall totals when all is said and done. Now, by the time we get to Tuesday evening, this is 6 p.m. on Tuesday, most of those snow showers now beginning to exit South Mississippi, and we go completely clear by the time we go later into Tuesday evening, Tuesday overnight. Here's the potential for snowfall here in South Mississippi. Of course, the northern portions of the area and the western portions of the area have the highest chance to be seeing some of that more prolonged heavy snowfall. That's why we're expecting, as of right now, 3 to 6 inches of snow possible. Once again, this is mainly going to be north of I-10 and mainly in the north and western portions of the viewing area. But overall, it is looking to be a pretty significant snow event here on the coast. You can also see south of I-10 and the further east you go, those totals do start to go down because of that potential for maybe a little bit of mixed precipitation at the start of the events. That would definitely bring those overall totals down. But of course, models have continued to trend to complete snow. So keep an eye out for changes. A lot of these numbers that we're talking about as of right now are subject to change as we learn more about this system as it continues to develop. And of course, once again, locally higher amounts will be possible. It really does depend if we can get those snow bands to set up and move over the same areas, especially during the afternoon on Tuesday. Now, of course, we love to see your pictures, not only when there's active weather going on, but of course, lots of things going on this week. There's a holiday. We also have these cold weather preparations that you've been doing over the weekend. And of course, the potential for snow here on the Gulf Coast as you go through the day on Tuesday. So any pictures related to this event, go ahead, submit it, send it to us. And while you're at it, download the WLOX First Alert weather app. You can get all of the details as we continue to learn more as this system begins to progress towards us. And of course, we always love to see those pictures, and you can maybe get your pictures here on air, especially on Tuesday as we are watching this system move across the area. Looking at the 7-day forecast, of course, the big thing, alert days Tuesday and Wednesday. That's going to be because of this winter storm moving fairly quick across the Gulf Coast. We're going to be seeing the heaviest snow set up by about midday or early afternoon on Tuesday. And then look at this, it gets really cold. Look at these white numbers. These are your morning temperatures. And it's going to be extremely cold, especially as you move through Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning looking to be the coldest. You can see there 23 currently the forecasted low. Could drop a little bit lower if we can get a lot of snow on the ground. That tends to draw that morning temperature much further down. Now, as you go through the day, Wednesday, Thursday, we finally start to go back above freezing during the afternoon hours. That can help a lot with that snow melt. However, we do go back below freezing both Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly even Friday morning. So we want to be keeping a very close eye out for things like a refreeze or some black ice, especially on roads that haven't been treated for the system. We're going to continue to keep a very close eye on that, and we're always going to keep things updated. Of course, our weather app will always be updated. The weather blog on our websites is going to continue to get the latest updates, as well as our on-air updates. They will be coming in throughout the day on Tuesday as well. So we'll have full details we'll continue to show you all the details as we get more here in the studio, and as well as on our social media pages and on the weather app. So definitely keep up to date. Of course, as of right now, many of us now going below freezing, so that is beginning now. We're starting to see that extreme cold. This is going to last for several mornings and potentially a long-term freezes overnight, being 12, 15, maybe even 20 hours at a time areas below freezing. So definitely stay warm and stay informed as well. That's going to be the best things you can do. And as always, you need to be protecting pipes, pets, people, and your plants. You guys have a great rest of your evening.